The works of Greek tragedy that remain today were originally scripts for their performances at the Great Dionysus Festival, the national festival of Athens. The Great Dionysus Festival was held at the end of March for celebrating the rebirth of new life in the spring. First at this festival, after the sacrificial ceremony was held prior to the performance, the statue of Dionysus was carried from the shrine into the theatre by being protected by a long line illuminated by torches, and the libation to the god statue was served. Then, a few days of tragedy competition was held. In these performances of tragedy, cholos, that is chorus in Greek tragedy, played its active role because their elements of music and dance were so important that they could not be ignored, for the performance of tragedy originated in the festival held in spring and celebrating the arrival of spring, so-called Durambos, which originally means intense dancing. People celebrated the resurrection of god Dionysus by intense music, dance, and euphoria. God Dionysus was a foreign god for the Greek. Although he traveled for teaching them how to cultivate grapes and how to make wine, he was persecuted and killed everywhere he went, but he is said to have revived miraculously every time and continued his travel. This myth-based chorus and round dance gave the birth of performing arts. Why the characters of Greek tragedy died or wandered according to the destiny. It is because Greek tragedy was originally the reproduction of the story of god Dionysus. The festival itself is an artwork celebrating God's arrival in the intoxication of intense music and dance. In the festival, gods and spirits of ancestors are welcomed by performed dances and played music. There, those who perform dances are the incarnations of gods and ancestors, and the performers are possessed by gods and ancestors. Because of these reasons, the performers generally appear with masks. Afterwards, when the performer and the audience who sees it are separated, performing dance and singing begin to mean the performing arts dedicated to the invoked gods and spirits. Besides, vengeful spirits and demons also visit this sacred space of festival, and the dances to drive away these spirits begin to be performed. Festival is just the event to play enthusiastically with gods, spirits, and demons that came from heaven, earth, other worlds, and different worlds. The festive space is always connected to the other worlds inhabited by gods and demons. The performing arts were, in a word, established for revelations of these gods and demons. For example, the Baron drama, a performing art performed with gamelan music in front of the Split Gate of Temple in Bali, Indonesia, is a masked play that depicts the battle between gods and devils. This drama has the heroic dance of men who exterminate the devils and the elegant dance of women who invite the gods, and in this drama, the good monster Baron and its companion monkey on one hand and the witch Randa and the small devils as her minions on the other, fight the endless battler. It is a festival for gods, devils, and people to interact by performing battles between great gods and evil spirits who bring calamity and hunger. Performing arts are formed from such a space. The recognition that art begins with festival is also true of Japanese performing art history. The origin of Japanese medieval performing arts is said to be in ancient Kagura. The ancient festive dance that invited gods and was danced in front of them, became a basic model of medieval performing arts. In fact, one of No's origins, Sarugaku, was a performing art with humorous imitation, and its source was in Kagura. Another source of No, Dengaku was also one of the traditional Japanese Shinto rituals, tarasabai being a kind of performing art in fields. Before the rice planting, the dance of Dengaku, imitating the gestures of rice planting, was performed with powerful drum sounds, shouts, and songs. The nature of Tsurugaku and Dengaku was originally celebrating wedding and celebrating in advance, and they were the events in order to pray to gods for rich harvests, peaceful world, diseaselessness, longevity, family safety, and so on. People sang and danced in order to greet gods, dispel demons of the area, and pray for the harvest of the year. Okina, treated as one of the most special among many no programs, was also performed at the divine ritual, and the performance itself was a divine ritual. Okina is a festive drama that celebrates fertility and longevity, and it conveys so well the former style prior to the establishment of no. The Okina appearing with wearing mask representing an old man is not a mere old man but a god, and his words are decorated with poetic lines as if to convey the words of God. If it is true that the songs and dances of kolos indispensable for Greek tragedy began with songs and dances between farm works, Greek tragedy is also thought to have begun with something like Dengaku. The characters in Greek tragedy were originally only two, a protagonist and a supporting player like no, and they used masks like no. Kolos is equivalent to juta, that is chorus in no. In Greek tragedy, this kolos exchanges ask and answer with the actor or states the destiny that people must follow. On the other hand, in no, supporting character talks with protagonist, and talks about the plot and sings about human suffering. Probably these similarities between Greek tragedy and no come from the fact that their origins are in festivals and, after then, theatrical elements have been added to them. Art begins with a festival.